What's up, guys? So it's Fantasy LOM back here doing another live Underdog mock draft, and we've got the sixth overall pick. Couple options, with the sixth overall pick. Obviously, some of the major wide receivers and running backs will probably be off the board: Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CMC, probably Austin Eckler as well. Probably be looking around at Travis Kelce, maybe Stephon Diggs, perhaps a Nick Chubb. Maybe do we want to reach for Bijan Robinson at number six? I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about Bijan Robinson with Arthur Smith's offense this year. I know they're going to run the ball a lot, but they've got Tyler Algier. They've got some other pieces on the outside with Drake London, Kyle Pitts. All right, so two wide receivers taken back to back off the board. And three wide receivers back to back: Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. First running back off the board, CMC. And we're up next after Cam R. And Travis Kelce was taken. So I was eyeing Travis Kelce with the sixth pick. Now the next best option, considering I would probably be looking at Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Nick Chubb, maybe even a Tony Pollard. But in this situation, I think Austin Eckler still has to be the best bet at pick number six, RB1 for the Chargers. I'm going with Austin Eckler. Think he's going to have a great resurgence of a year with a new offensive coordinator um, coming over from Dallas in the offseason. In Kellen Moore, I think he's going to bring a prolific passing attack, and Austin Eckler is a great receiving back, so he's going to have great PPR value. Stephon Diggs, Bijan Robinson, taken at number 8. Nick Chubb. Now we see these running backs starting to get taken off the board here pretty fast. Glad we were able to secure Austin Eckler. We got a pick coming up in 8 more picks. Ideally, I'd love to secure another top level running back, either Tony Pollard or Saquon, and round out our running back duo right there. Maybe even a Devontae Adams. I'm not sure how I feel with Devontae and Jimmy G. Oh, and look at that. We saw Saquon already go off the board. So let's see if Tony Pollard can fall to us or not. Let's queue him up. CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We'll see how he does this season with Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, great head coach. Tony Pollard just taken as well. All right, so glad we had Devontae Adams also queued up. So Tony Pollard's now off the board. We're 4 picks away. We have Austin Eckler already. We can either load up with the running backs. I do like Josh Jacobs. Derrick Henry is also on the board. I'm not sure how he'll do this season, especially with the addition of D-Hop in their offense. I think Devontae Adams, with the departure of Darren Waller, is going to be getting a massive, massive target share. I think I'll be going with Devontae Adams in this situation. Let's see if he can fall to us in the next 2 picks. And we saw Derrick Henry and Garrett Wilson also just get both taken off the board in back-to-back picks right there by Goober picking and Mimi C. Mays. All right, and Mountain Goose takes Josh Jacobs, leaving us 1 pick away. And Omaha did us the favor of taking Cooper Kupp. Wonderful. A player, personally, I feel to stay away from Cooper Kupp. I'm not sure how he's going to be coming off of the ACL injury and Matt Stafford's injury as well. So I want to now solidify a top level wide receiver 1 to go and be a strong duo tandem with Austin Eckler. So I think we're going to go ahead and select Devontae Adams here. Welcome to the team, Devontae Adams. We're 10 picks away now, so we can kind of gauge on the first quarterback off the board late in the second round. Patrick Mahomes, first quarterback taken off the board. Usually he's the first one. A little early for me to take a quarterback still. There's plenty of good quarterbacks, even in that mid-tier range, whether it's a Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Chris Olave, another good wide receiver, I think, who's going to have great, great upside in his second full season with the New Orleans Saints, having a Better quarterback upgrade from last season to this season, going from Andy Dalton to now Derek Carr. Sid the Kid himself, Jalen Waddle just taken the number 7 overall receiver last year in fantasy. Had a great year despite Tua being out for a significant chunk towards the end of the season. We'll see how Jalen Waddle performs. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. Shout out to my guy Jalen Hurts. Fortunately, we couldn't seal the deal in the Super Bowl, but it's all right. He'll be back again this year for sure. Calvin Ridley. So we're 5 picks away now, so we can start gauging a little bit um, what we want to look at. So some of these quarterbacks were taken off the board already. If we wanted to look at a quarterback, there's still Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. I think up to Trevor Lawrence is a good cap in terms of talent. So we have a little ways to go. I mean, if we wanted to look at running backs, there's Ramondre Stevenson, Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, Joe Mixon. If we want wide receivers, there's T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, a wide receiver one. There's Mark Andrews still on the board, tight end one. So we're 3 picks away now. No one's really taken too many tight ends off the board. Josh Allen, we just saw, okay, just get taken as well in terms of quarterbacks. So now we have an option here. Do we want to round out more of a wide receiver group, or do we want to get a strong tight end? And personally, I think Lamar Jackson being fully healthy, having a new offensive coordinator this offseason being implemented, OBJ coming in there this offseason, along with Zay Flowers, the rookie wide receiver. I think the offense is going to flourish, and Mark Andrews is going to see a wide open playing field for him. So we're going to go ahead and take Mark Andrews there. Welcome to the team, Mark Andrews. And I'm liking the way our team is beginning to round out. We have a strong running back one, wide receiver one, tight end one with Austin Eckler, Devontae Adams, and Mark Andrews, all top 5 in their own class respectively. In Austin Eckler and Mark Andrews' cases, top 3 actually. So we saw Joe Mixon and DK Metcalf both go next, followed by Keenan Allen. So some of the more there's a wide receiver run now going at it, and I've got my eyes set on Amari Cooper, actually. Let's see if he can fall to us in 9 picks. The wide receiver one for the Cleveland Browns. And now a first off season, and now full season with Deshaun Watson. Hopefully their chemistry continues to grow. And I can see big things for the Cleveland Brown offense. And just as I say that, Caldwell here, GRJ Caldwell had to go ahead and snipe us. So we won't be taking Amari Cooper. Um, it's no problem. It's always good to so that's why it's always good to keep an eye out for picks ahead of time just to make sure if someone does end up sniping you. So we saw now ETN and Drake London both go off the board. Now, luckily we did already secure a wide receiver, tight end. We don't have to worry about that now in terms of a backup for a while. In this situation, I'd still want to perhaps round out either a strong wide receiver or running back tandem. And now it's really just whoever's the best available left. I love me some DJ Moore. He just got drafted. I like Brandon Ayuk a lot. Aaron Jones, Damian Pierce, both also great players. I like Christian Watson. I think. Oh, and Mountain Goose just did us the favor right there of taking Christian Watson. So now between Aaron Jones, Damian Pierce, Jonathan Taylor just taken. So Damian Pierce had a great rookie year last year for the Houston Texans. I think he's going to be a fantastic crutch for their rookie quarterback, CJ Stroud, and their rookie head coach, D'Amico Ryans, coming over from um, the San Francisco 49ers in this offseason. So let's go ahead and strengthen our running back class right here, running back group, and draft Damian Pierce to back up Austin Eckler for us. Welcome to the team, Damian Pierce. So now we're 10 picks away. Not too worried still about a quarterback run. I still see Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Trevor Lawrence all on the board. Not too worried right now still. So let's maybe try to strengthen our wide receiver group if we can. D Hop just got taken. Uh, I like Chris Godwin a lot. I know with the departure of Tom Brady and the um, rise of Baker Mayfield in the offense this offseason, actually, it's going to be an interesting fit and we'll see how the offense can hold up. But I think if healthy, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both vying for the wide receiver one positions, especially Chris Godwin with the way he can play inside, outside slot, small yards, deep game. He's a very versatile wide receiver, and someone who Baker Mayfield can definitely rely on and be a safety blanket for him. So I'm keeping my eye on Chris Godwin right now. Potentially another wide receiver I like a lot, Zay Flowers. Like I mentioned, the rookie wide receiver for Baltimore. A lot of talk out of minicamp, right? Out of training camp, and been saying that Zay Flowers is going to be the wide receiver one actually. Um, and in the new passing attack that they have, in the new passing attack that the Baltimore Ravens are going to have, I think Zay Flowers is going to do wonders. So now we're up in three picks. Little recap: Aaron Jones, Brees Hall, Brandon Ayuk, T.J. Hawkinson, all taken. Hawkinson, shout out to the guy, my guy Hawk, massive deal. He just signed in the offseason. One of the largest tight end deals ever, actually. Justin Fields, all right, just drafted and taken as well. First quarterback taken in the fifth round. So now we're up here. We can go with Chris Godwin. We can go with Zay Flowers. Let's go with. I think we're gonna go with Chris Godwin. There's a lot of good talk coming out of camp as well. Darren Waller, tight end out of New York, taken by Team Omaha. Great selection. I think Darren Waller, sneaky tight end, taken this late in the draft for everyone to keep their eye on. I mean, considering the lack of wide receiver talent that the New York Giants possess, they're going to be primed to be targeting Darren Waller a massive amount. If he can stay healthy, I think there's a massive upside to drafting Darren Waller, especially this late. So now just the recap since we're 9 picks away. We've got Austin Eckler, we got Damian Pierce, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, and Mark Andrews rounding out our tight end group. So now, as we near the sixth round and we're 8 picks away going into the sixth round, I think at this point in time, it would be wise to eye a potential quarterback. The two top quarterbacks still left are Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. I think after Trevor Lawrence, there's a significant drop off to Deshaun Watson and Tua Tagovailoa, and as we see, Joe Burrow was just taken there. Um, we're 7 picks away. Hopefully, Trevor Lawrence can fall to us. If not, we might have to reevaluate the situation and go for a running back or a wide receiver because Deshaun Watson and or Tua Tagovailoa should be able to drop in the latter parts of this draft. But we're still 6 picks away, so James Cook was just taken, followed by Rachaad White, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He'll be the RB1 for Tampa this coming season, so he should be primed to get a good amount of targets as well. All right, GRJ Caldwell taking George Kittle. We'll be up in 3 picks. Goober picking just took Jahan Dotson. I'm feeling pretty good. Don't want to jinx myself, but can Trevor Lawrence fall to us? 2 picks away. Saw J.K. Dobbins just get taken right there. Got to queue up a few other players on the off chance. I like Javonte Williams and James Conner both being the RB1s, especially both in and of course, as I say that, Mountain Goose has to come in there and snipe us. All right. Now that was a little upsetting, but it's all right. We're still prepared. We're up on the clock now. Christian Kirk was just taken. A little recap of our team here: Devonte Adams, Chris Godwin, Eckler, Pierce, and Mark Andrews. I'm either eyeing Javonte Williams or James Conner. I like both of them a lot. Um, I think that Javonte Williams, coupled with Russell Wilson, hopefully in a new season with Sean Payton, coming off the ACL injury he had. Before that, he was primed for a breakout year. The year before that, with Melvin Gordon, he's rushed for over 1,200 yards. I mean, dude's a beast. So I feel pretty comfortable taking Javonte Williams. I wouldn't have minded James Conner either, um, because with Kyler Murray still being out, who knows what his timetable is going to look like. Them trading away D Hop, not much on the offensive side to really lean on except for James Conner. So he's going to be a primary workhorse. Maybe James Conner can sneak back into us in 8 picks, and I wouldn't mind solidifying him into our running back room here. But let's also keep an eye out for some wide receivers now. We only have Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin. Um, I like Michael Pittman a lot. Love Brandon Cooks. Dude is just a flat out baller wherever he goes. Doesn't matter who his quarterbacks are. This guy is almost a lock for 1,000 yard receiving season. Doesn't matter. I could be the one throwing him the ball. So I like him a lot. Let's keep our eye out. We're 5 picks away. Some quarterbacks are still on the board. Deshaun, Tua. Let's see what I hate to lose wants to go with. Oh, and he's selecting Cam Akers. All right. Brooks Sty taking Zay Flowers and DGen God here. We're up in 3 picks, but who will DGen God go with? James Conner, my guy. All right. Taking James Conner and Jordan Addison taken. Rookie wide receiver out of Pittsburgh. So now we're on the clock here, like I mentioned. I want to kind of round out more of my wide receiver room. I like Michael Pittman, a little unsure about how he's going to fit in with Anthony Richardson, the rookie out of Florida. So I want to caution on the safe side and get someone I know, someone who's got some trusted value in the past. And we're going to go ahead and take Brandon Cooks, strong strong flex wide receiver. And now we're up in 11 picks. So now I think as the 7th round starts to come to a close and the 8th round to start to head into way, we should maybe keep an eye out for a quarterback, especially since we haven't had one yet. 2 guys I'm still keeping my eye on: Deshaun Watson and Tua Tagovailoa. I think after that, there's a massive, massive drop off with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Maybe you can squeak by with Prescott, but I know Mike McCarthy was mentioning, and I know they want to run the ball a lot more this season. So we'll see how that goes. We already do have Brandon Cooks as well, so not really looking for that pairing. Um, Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers. So as you can see, there's a clear and significant precipitous drop off from Deshaun and Tua, and then the rest of the class remaining in terms of quarterbacks on the board. So we're 8 picks away now. And Kamara, Sky Moore, Dallas Goddard. Shout out to my guy Dallas Goddard. Isaiah Pacheco, all taken. Followed by Cortland Sutton. I think that's a good pick considering Judy's going to be out for a couple weeks. Um, Tim Patrick coming off his ACL injury as well. Terry McLaurin, Anthony Richardson taking an interesting pick. Anthony Richardson, Team Raymount, with the first quarterback taken goes with Anthony Richardson over Deshaun or Tua Tagovailoa. Very, very interesting selection. Don't really know what was going through his thought process or why he would do that, but that's always good for us. Leaves us both on the board still with 4 picks away. JSN was just taken after Anthony Richardson and Goober picking on the board. Michael Pittman, good wide receiver one, taken this late. Mimi C. Mace takes Quentin Johnson. Mountain Goose is on the board right now, taking DeAndre Swift. Shout out to DeAndre Swift, the addition from Detroit this year, coming to Philadelphia. Strong Philadelphia running backs by committee with him, Kenneth Gainwell, a couple other guys in the backfield after the departure of Miles Sanders. Slant Boy himself taken by Omaha and Michael Thomas. So now we're on the board here. 2 guys I'm looking at: Deshaun Watson, Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, considering the year that Tua had last year prior to his injury, he was on an MVP trajectory. I think another second full season with Coach McDaniels, they're primed for a true breakout year if Tua can stay healthy. So we're gonna go ahead and take Tua. Welcome to the team, Tua. So now we got Tua, Austin Eckler, Damian Pierce, Javonte Williams, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, and Mark Andrews. So there's a couple things now we can do. I really love. We've got strong positional groups in every category right now. I don't see a single weakness at all. Maybe a little depth if we want to get some in the quarterback or tight end range. Couple good tight ends still available. Evan Ingram, David Njoku. I think Jacksonville though has too many weapons. You might not see the ball getting spread to Evan Ingram as much. Um, David Njoku, I like to see that a lot. I mean, with Amari Cooper and um, that's basically it for them. They have Donovan Peoples-Jones, but not too much else on the passing attack. Hopefully, him and Deshaun can get another full season, like I mentioned with Amari as well. They build up more chemistry. I like David Njoku a lot. Maybe I'd be eyeing him as a backup tight end, but still a little early. And just a little recap: Khalil Herbert, Hollywood Brown, Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, all taken. So I mean, there's a bunch of people now. We can either. I like Brian Robinson a lot. I think coming off of this year he had last year, um, he's only primed for an even stronger year. He didn't even get to play the full season coming off that horrific shooting incident he had. So yeah, I mean, when you get this late in the draft, you're looking for guys with low risk, high upside. People who could be primed to get a significant target share. Even someone like Raheem Mostert, running back who is not going to be the running back one for Miami. But we're going to go ahead and strengthen our wide receiver group a little bit. Let's get Romeo Dobbs, a second-year player for the Green Bay Packers. Now with the first full season with Jordan Love, we'll see how that chemistry works out. Deshaun Watson, Evan Ingram, AJ Dillon, all taken, followed by Pat Fryermuth, tight end for the Steelers. Kenny Pickett's safety blanket along with George Pickens on the outside and Najee Harris running up the middle. Coach Tomlin's always got a great offensive scheme. Jalen Warren, the backup running back. Surprised he was taken this early. I mean, considering if Najee stays healthy, he's not really looking to get a significant playing time, but always good to have in your back pocket, especially if you do draft Najee Harris. Team Raymount taking Kirk Cousins. And now we'll be up on the board in 6 picks. A couple of guys I'm looking at. I like David Njoku as a backup tight end. I like Raheem Mostert as well. See, we saw Tyler Higbee just taken, so maybe it might be worthwhile to go for a backup tight end before most of them are gone. Because I mean, other than David Njoku and Dalton Schultz, those are the only two tight end ones who are still primed to get significant target shares, I believe. Joe Everett, when the rest of the when the rest of the Chargers wide receivers get hurt, he's always seemed to have good upside. But and of course, Mimi C. Mays has to come in and take David Njoku, which is no problem. That's fine. We're gonna go ahead and then take. Most likely, we'll go take Raheem Mostert. But we can't even do that as Omaha comes in there and snipes us. Damn, two snipes back to back. That's kind of rough. So that's fine. Luckily, we have a few other options here. I like Dalton Schultz a lot. I like Cole Kmet. I think Dalton Schultz had a great season last year with the Dallas Cowboys. 89 targets, 57 receptions, 5 touchdowns. I mean, he's with the Houston Texans now this year. They don't have too many wide receivers on the outside, and a rookie quarterback. His safety blanket's always a strong tight end. So I'd look for Dalton Schultz to be a great backup tight end for me, um, in case something happens to Mark Andrews. So I love the addition of Dalton Schultz, and welcome to the team, Dalton. So yeah, like I mentioned, this late in the draft, we're 7 picks away. At this point, 11th round, all looking for upside guys. Guys who could potentially start off slow, but as the season progresses, really pick up speed, pick up momentum, um, and gain significant target shares, rushing shares, and just confidence in the overall offense as a whole. So there's a couple guys who fit that mold for me, whether it's the wide receiver Jameson Williams out of Detroit, who'll be suspended for 6 games due to the gambling suspension. There's also Tank Bigsby, the rookie running back out of Jacksonville, who Doug Peterson has been raving about all offseason. Keep an eye on him to get significant rushing shares as the year progresses. And then also Alan Lazard, a teammate coming over from the Green Bay Packers, who Aaron Rodgers is very comfortable with. Definitely won't be the wide receiver one, considering Garrett Wilson is still wearing a New York Jets jersey, but someone who is very comfortable with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is comfortable with him, and someone who, at least in the beginning parts of the season, could see massive shares of targets if everyone else is kind of not on the same page as Aaron Rodgers. But Tank Bigsby taken. Still a fan of Jameson Williams, ideally having him in our back pocket. I mean, he played 1 game last year. He had 1 reception, 41 yards. Dude's an absolute beast. We're going to go ahead and take Jameson Williams. Welcome to the team, Jameson Williams. So as we continue to progress, I'm loving Deion Jackson. He's going to be the starting running back for the Indianapolis Colts for the next 4 weeks at least. For the first 4 weeks of the season, we'll see how what progresses out of the Jonathan Taylor situation. But there could be a good chance that Deion Jackson just ends up being the starter for the remainder of the season. And if that happens, drafting a running back one this late into round 12 would be an absolute steal. Don't want to jinx anything. We've been sniped already twice before. Um, Usually by Team Raymount. So hopefully nothing like that happens again. We see Zay Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, all backup quarterbacks, all taken off the board. Van Jefferson, who is slated to be the wide receiver one if Cooper Kupp isn't able to be healthy for the week one matchup they have this coming week. So while we're still 6 picks away, let's do a quick rundown of our team here. So Fantasy Lam has Tua Tagovailoa as the quarterback, Austin Eckler, Damian Pierce, Javonte Williams as our running backs, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Romeo Dobbs, and Jameson Williams as our wide receiver classes, and Mark Andrews and Dalton Schultz both rounding out our tight end group. So really strong positional players and positional categories in every aspect. Don't really have any weaknesses. Now it's really just about building out the overall team and the supplemental pieces around our core guys. So we're 2 picks away. Keeping my eye on Deion Jackson still. I mean, if 1 pick away, I mean, right now he's going to be the starter for at least the first 4 weeks. Awesome. And he falls to us. So we're going to go ahead and take Deion Jackson. Welcome to the team, Deion Jackson. It's great to have you. That is fantastic. I mean, to get a running back one in nearly the 13th round is absolutely absurd. All 4 of our running backs here, Austin Eckler, Damian Pierce, Javonte Williams, Deion Jackson, all running back ones, all primed to get significant shares of targets, whether it's receiving or running. Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, both wide receiver ones, along with Brandon Cooks, Dobbs, and Jameson Williams, both all were strong wide receiver twos. And then Mark Andrews and Dalton Schultz, both tight end ones that we've got. So the key really here, guys, is to try to target as many ones as you can. You want to get the RB ones, the wide receiver ones, the tight end ones, the guys who are going to be commanding the significant target shares, receiving shares, whatever the case is, the touchdown shares. That is going to help you guys really break away from the rest of your leagues. So just a little recap again: Jacoby Myers, Jawan Johnson, Alan Lazard, Kenneth Gainwell, all taken. We're 6 picks away. I hate to lose is on the board. They go with Chigunaway Okongwu. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, man, but you got a tough name to say. Um, Jake Ferguson, MVS taken. Degen God is on the board. We're up in three picks. I mean, there's a plethora of ways you can go about here. I like some wide receivers who are on the board. I would have gone. I like Michael Gallup, but we already do have Brandon Cooks. Um, Rondell Moore is not a terrible option. I love me some DJ Chark, especially being the true wide receiver one for Carolina. Like I was just mentioning, it's all about those ones. And there's no really true running back one left. Most of these guys are backups now. Won't be getting too much significant, maybe besides Zeke, but even then, Zeke is the backup to Ramondre. He won't be getting a lot of touches besides short yard, third down touches. So we're gonna go ahead and add a strong wide receiver one for his team to our team, and that'll be DJ Chark, the wide receiver out of the Carolina Panthers, with their rookie quarterback from Alabama and Bryce Young. So welcome to the team, DJ Chark. All right, guys. So just a little quick recap. We're 8 picks away. Ezekiel Elliott, Cole Kmet, Derek Carr, and Gerald Everett all taken after DJ Chark. Fantasy Lom team, we got Tua Tagovailoa, Austin Eckler, Damian Pierce, Javonte Williams, Deion Jackson, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Romeo Dobbs, Jameson Williams, DJ Chark, Mark Andrews, and Dalton Schultz. Like I mentioned, a complete strength on strength team through and through. I don't really see any weaknesses here. The one thing not really too pleased about, we weren't able to get a strong backup quarterback. So when that happens, at this point, I'd rather wait it out and push it out maybe until the end of the draft. Maybe I'll look at someone like Jordan Love, perhaps Matthew Stafford, maybe even a Ryan Tannehill with D Hop. We can add those guys in right now. But yeah, I mean, 3 picks away. Rondale Moore should be the primary receiving target besides Hollywood Brown for the Arizona Cardinals, and you can know he's gonna vie for either fringe wide receiver one, high wide receiver two target shares. To get a wide receiver like that in the 14th round, it's tough to argue. There's not really much else talent like that comparably on the board. We're gonna go ahead and select Rondale Moore. Add him to our team. Welcome to the team, Mr. Moore. All right, so we're 8 picks away. Little recap after we took Rondale Moore. Michael Gallup was taken, followed by Curtis Samuel. Not too sure how I feel about those Washington Commanders wide receiver targets right now. They got some good weapons out there with Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel. But the issue here is I'm not sure how Samuel Howell is going to play. I mean, he's an unknown. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Bieniemy, the new offensive coordinator, a little rift with him and the head coach in training camp recently, but things seem to be looking up. So we'll keep an eye on Sam Howell and that offense. Sam Howell, speaking of him, was just taken, followed by Brock Purdy. So I think another backup running back, a backup wide receiver, um, excuse me, backup quarterback run is happening right now. So we're 5 picks away. I was initially thinking about saving drafting a backup quarterback until maybe the 16th, 17th round, but if dudes like Sam Howell and Brock Purdy are going off the board, we might have to go ahead and take someone like a Ryan Tannehill, maybe even a Baker Mayfield, Devin Singletary, Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, and it's tough once you get to these latter rounds of the draft. You're really reaching for a lot of players here, so you really want high upside guys like I've been talking about. another strong guy, Joshua Palmer. The wide receiver, clear cut wide receiver three behind Mike Williams and Keenan Allen for the Los Angeles Chargers. And the one thing with the Chargers is you never know with the wide receiver injury history. So you can never be too sure and too safe with those guys. So I think we might have to be looking at Joshua Palmer in this situation. I also queued up John Mechie. I like John Mechie a lot. I'll explain him in a second. I think we'll go ahead and take Joshua Palmer though. Yeah, so John Mechie though, another great talent. Didn't play all last year after he was battling leukemia for the Houston Texans though, drafted 2 years not this past season, the season before that. But strong talent, strong upside. If him and CJ Stroud can get on the same page, I like that connection a lot. We also do have Damian Pierce, but not too worried, especially since John Mechie won't be our wide receiver one or two in the first couple weeks for sure, while he still gets his feet situated and everything. So keep an eye on him. And Kareem Hunt, undrafted, or not undrafted, unsigned running back Kareem Hunt, drafted in the 15th round. Got some upside there if a team was to end up signing him, maybe a desperate team, but not too sure how I feel about that. Might as well stay away from that situation. So we'll be up in 5 picks. A little recap of our team. We got Tua at our quarterback, Austin Eckler, Damian Pierce, Javonte Williams, Deion Jackson as our RBs, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Romeo Dobbs, Jamison Williams, DJ Chark, Rondale Moore, and Joshua Palmer as our wide receivers. And then we have Mark Andrews and Dalton Schultz rounding out our tight end groups. Now, in this situation, like I was saying, I was either looking at John Mechie or Ryan Tannehill. I think with the addition of D Hop, Ryan Tannehill should be primed to have more of a passing opportunity. We're gonna go ahead and take Ryan Tannehill as our backup quarterback. Welcome to the team, Mr. Tannehill. Coach Mike Vrabel, quarterback Ryan Tannehill. They have D Hop. Not too many other weapons on the outside. Obviously, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry makes any quarterback's life easier. So look to see Ryan Tannehill have a decent year in case anything happens to Tua, especially based on the year Tua had last season. So yeah, there's 8 more picks away. We have 2 more picks left. At this point, we've got a really strong wide receiver class, really strong running back class, quarterback class, and tight end class. Maybe if we want to look to see who could be a potential third tight end available, I like Zach Ertz. I like Noah Fant. Let's see. I don't think Zach Ertz will be ready though for week one, which is the big concern. Noah Fant, if he can stay healthy, has good upside. The only thing is though, Seattle's got way too many weapons on the outside. So we'll be up in 5 picks. A lot of options to choose from here. Most of these guys are kind of bottom of the barrel players who really are at this point just fill in fill ins for maybe either a bye week or an injury, God forbid something happens. But I think we're gonna go ahead since there's no clear cut running back that I really like. We've got a really strong running back class already. Might as well go ahead and select the player that we really fell in love with, John Mechie. And that's someone who I'm not really focused on to produce for me anywhere early in the season. I mean, considering we have Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin and Brandon Cooks, all top wide receivers, followed by Romeo Dobbs, Jameson Williams, DJ Chark, Rondale Moore. I mean, I'm not really looking for him to produce early on. It'd be nice if Mechie starts to pick it up throughout the season. It'd be a great value add late into the 17th round at pick number 198, but not too worried about that either. But then just after quick recap after Mechie, we see Kyler Murray, Chuba Hubbard, Kyrian Williams, and then E Hall all taken. GRJ Caldwell's on the board right now, followed by Raymond, and then Raymond again as he snakes back around into the 18th and final round. And we're 8 picks away, so with our final pick here, let's kind of take a look at the lay of the land, see who's available to us. I like Paris Campbell here. Um, Potentially, if we want to look at running backs only, I like CEH. Deontay Foreman's all right. Chicago has a bunch of running backs. Cordell Patterson, same situation with Atlanta. Justice Hill, same kind of situation with Baltimore. I mean, a lot of these guys now are coming into the wide receiver, running back 2 or 3 range, so it's tough to really fall in love with any of those guys. I mean, I think it might be a situation now. We just kind of look at who's the next best option available as we go down here. I'm really liking Chase Claypool, especially at the value add that we can get him at. He was the wide receiver 1 last year, traded midway through the season from Pittsburgh to Chicago. Now Chicago did add DJ Moore in the offseason, so Chase Claypool should probably be the wide receiver 2. But with the addition of DJ Moore, defenses also won't be able to prime on Chase Claypool any longer. And Justin Fields, another full season, um, third season under his belt now, 2 full seasons under his belt now, going to his third season. I'd look to Chase Claypool as a value add at pick number 211 at 18.7. And that rounded out our last pick. So let's see what some of these guys want to finish off with. There's Chase Claypool, then Sean Tucker, Isaiah Likely, tight end, backup tight end for Baltimore, drafted by Eggman. 3 picks left by Degen God, Brooks Dye, and I Hate to Lose. Yeah, I hate to lose too, man. Don't we all? Zach Ertz. All right, that's a good, very strong pick at pick number 214. He definitely almost won't be ready for week 1, but to have him as a backup tight end or even as a third tight end on your roster is a great value add this late. I mean, in the 18th round, pick number 10 in the 18th round, pick number 214 overall. Great pick. Um, Last 2 picks, let's see how we're going to round out this draft here with Brooks Dye and I Hate to Lose. Brooks Dye with 3 seconds left, 2, 1, and they auto to Gus Edwards, followed by I Hate to Lose with the last draft selection of this draft goes with and looks like he's also really trying to milk this clock down to the wire too. Don't know why sometimes these guys do that with only a few seconds left in the last pick. I Hate to Lose selects. Oh wow, maybe it won't tell us. Now, just because I am curious, I want to see pick number 214. Huh. Looks like they didn't give him a pick. That's interesting. All right, well, can't ever be too worried about that. It's all right. We can go through and recap our team at least. Loving our team. Team Fantasy LOM as our quarterbacks, a little recap. Tua Tagovailoa as our starter, and Ryan Tannehill as the backup. Tua didn't lose a single game that he started in and finished last season. So I mean, considering Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle on the outside, Raheem Mostert as the running back, another full season with Coach McDaniels. I'm really loving Tua, and Ryan as a safety blanket is also a great quarterback to have. Then for the running back class, we've got Austin Eckler, Damian Pierce, Javonte Williams, and Deion Jackson. Really, really proud of our running back group here. Every single running back you see here that we've drafted are all running back one options for their teams, sole running back one options, and not running back by committee um, offensive schemes that they play in. So they will be primed to have significant rushing shares and receiving shares out of the backfield in the case of Austin Eckler and Deion Jackson. And moving into our wide receiver group, we were able to draft Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Romeo Dobbs, Jameson Williams, DJ Chark, Rondale Moore, Joshua Palmer, John Mechie, and Chase Claypool. I really love the depth here that we have for this wide receiver group. I mean, we've got Devontae and Chris Godwin, both clear cut wide receiver ones, followed by Brandon Cooks, Romeo Dobbs, Chase Claypool, Rondale Moore, DJ Chark, all in that fringe high wide receiver two, low wide receiver one range. And then there's some safety blankets in the sense of Jameson Williams and John Mechie with high upside in the case that they do end up performing like we predict that they will. And then finally, in the tight end group, we were able to draft Mark Andrews and Dalton Schultz, both tight end ones for their respective teams, both significant pass catchers and minimal pass blockers, pass blocking tight ends, especially in the case of Mark Andrews. He has always been shown to be Lamar Jackson's safety blanket. Dalton Schultz was Dak Prescott's safety blanket. We'll see how that works now with him being on the Houston Texans and a rookie quarterback and CJ Stroud. Usually that is the same similar situation where rookie quarterbacks do prefer to go to tight ends. That was the case with Jalen Hurts and Zach Ertz, and then Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert not too long ago. And so a couple other instances like that as well. But that rounds out Team Fantasy LON. Appreciate you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys here next time.